Hello everyone and welcome to Catalonia and the Group 3 race that happened last night in the Manufacturers Cup. It's Exhibition Season 3, round number 4, and we're in the Audi R8 Group 3 car. Now, this was live streamed, or the majority of it was, until the live stream decided to die on the second to last lap. But rather than just give you one lap, I thought I'd show you the race from the TV camera's perspective, which didn't save all as well. So from the pit stop onwards, we will actually go back to the live stream footage, but I'll commentate on the race from my perspective and what's going through my mind a little bit, because while I speak on the live stream, I don't necessarily say everything that goes through my mind on the live stream. So, you know, enjoy the race, sit back, relax, and then you'll find out actually what happened at the end. So obviously, as we started the race, we started down in 6th position. We had Belin in the Dodge there and Matty in the BMW right in front of us. These two were fighting, and really at this point, they're starting to bottleneck me back a little bit. So you can see Kondo in the Porsche right behind me there, and I've got him in my mind at this point. I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to stay on the inside here, because otherwise Kondo's going to go for that move and potentially gain a position. So I kind of try and stay here. The two guys up front still battling, Matty and Belin in the Viper BMW battle, and obviously I'm stuck here thinking, come on guys, sort it out, sort it out, sort it out. So you just see Matty lose the rear end a little bit on his car there, and then it's my turn to now attack Matty. Matty really struggling in that BMW M6 GT3 car. I've got to say, this game looks amazing. If you take out the letterboxes, oh my word, it looks good. And you know, in the future we'll look for 4K and stuff recording in that, but at this point we're not. As you see, a little bit of contact there between me, Matty, and Roswald, I think it was, in the Aston Martin as well there. Obviously making his way past the Porsche of Kondo. So we'll continue on. So at this point we are looking for a way to get past Matty. Now Matty's struggling in the BMW M6. Not sure whether it's tyre based or whether the car just doesn't like slow corners. I'm assuming it's because of that. Look how good that looks. Oh, that camera looks amazing. As we continue now around the last corner and begin the next lap. So you may have just seen there, slight bit of oversteer in the R8. The R8 will struggle with that. The further on in the stint we go, the more the R8 will struggle. It'll begin to get worse and worse and worse, and slowly overtake the BMW in terms of like bad handling, essentially. As you see, we go for a move on Matty on the inside. We give him enough space on the outside because it was more of an attack. I wasn't side by side straight away, but I'm sort of setting him up for this right-hander because I know Matty's going to struggle on the power. I've seen that throughout the first lap. So what I do there is I prep myself to get on the inside, and at this point I'm going for the last of the late breakers. You see that there? I gain a load of time. Now at this point I then start to balance the throttle, make sure the car's stable, and then I accelerate out the corner. I stay sort of in the middle of the road here to protect myself from the Aston and the BMW of Matty, and as you see we just make it past with the Aston Martin also trying to go through as well. Up ahead, Calster has gained the lead from Key in the Porsche. Now the thing with that Lamborghini, while it is absolutely missile-like on the straights, its tyres are even worse than the Audi. It's the worst on tyres in Group 3 and in terms of the MR section of Group 3 as well. The Lamborghini is horrible on its tyres. So, you know, to compensate that, PD have given the Lamborghini just a little bit more speed, just to try and help it a little bit, which is why Calster can get in front. Now, Calster's a very quick driver anyway, but he can get in front and then try and hold that lead with the speed of the Lamborghini. So what you've got to really do at that point then, if you're Key, Mac or Belin, who are in front of me at the moment, you've got to be really strategic in where you go for the overtake. Or do you just wait a little while, allow the Lamborghini to pull you along on the straights, and then hope that Calster makes a mistake in that Lamborghini, because it's going to get very twitchy towards the end of the stint to then take advantage of that if your car is better on tyres. So at this point, I'm now just putting my foot down, trying to catch up to this group, because I know there's going to be a lot of battles in there, and you can see the gap has built then to the Aston Martin behind, who's also battling with Kondo and Matty still in there as well. By the way, if you like the livery, Mungino or Mungino has made it. I'm never sure how to pronounce that, but he makes a lot of liveries, and look how good that livery looks. I absolutely love this livery. It's absolutely amazing. So you can search for this on the Discover section. Just search for Tidgney, it'll be on there. But he also makes liveries for everybody else. He accepts requests and stuff. So, keep an eye out for his designs, or if you want a design done, just speak to him. I'm sure he'll be able to do some. But as you can see, that livery looks absolutely fantastic. So thank you for that as well. So while we've got a bit of a quiet period in this race with the TV camera, which looks absolutely, look at that. Look how good that looks with the train of GT3 cars behind, and the mixture of manufacturers as well. Aston, Porsche, BMW, McLaren in there as well. It just looks amazing. But with this slight break that we've got at the moment, I just want to say thank you. We've got 5,000 subscribers on the channel, which is mind-boggling, to be honest. Now, obviously, a lot of people tune into the live stream, so we're gutted when the live stream decided to kill itself, which was a hardware issue, I believe, on my side, frustratingly. But I'll show you in the setup one time, the whole setup, why it's so complicated. But yeah, you know, you're enjoying the live streams, which I'm glad about. So I'm always live streaming Wednesdays and Saturdays if I'm available, the FIA races, because I think it's good to show you what I do, my mindset, my thinking, and we win together and we lose together. And in this situation, you know, it's going to get good. As you can see, we've caught up to Belling now. Belling made a mistake on the fast right-hander in the middle of Sector 3, I think it is, on Gran Turismo. So we're just using that slipstream now to try and catch up to Belling, and hopefully Belling can pull us along then to the top 3, because obviously our tyres are going to get worse by the end of the stint. Obviously FR cars don't struggle with the rear tyres as much, so the Audi will get very loose, Lamborghini will be very, very loose, McLaren gets loose, all the MR cars get loose, whereas the front engine rear wheel drive cars will suffer more with understeer. So while yes, it's still a problem, they don't suffer with the aggression so much, so they don't have to balance the throttle as much. They can steer out of corners a little bit better than other cars. You know, the Viper is the perfect example of this, although the Viper is struggling generally as a manufacturer at the moment as well. So we'll see what happens with the balance of performance. Of course, we're going to do the balance of performance test again, so after the World Finals, which is in Monaco this week. Monaco, baby! Joey impersonation there. We're going to do the balance performance tests again, very differently. We're going to take into consideration tyre wear this time, fuel rate as well. So do keep an eye out for those. It won't be quite like the car profiles, although we have to do a couple more car profiles for Group 3 cars, which was going to be the video for today, but now you have this instead. But even so, we're going to do the BOP test. We've also got the GT Sport Driving School coming up as well, which everybody is looking forward to from all the comments I keep getting. So do keep an eye out for that. That starts on Tuesday. That's just an introduction to what we're going to do, all the categories. So if you see a category that's not on there and you perhaps want it, you know, request it and I'll try and incorporate it where I can. There's a couple of episodes that potentially can change, but even so, hopefully it's of some use to you. At some point in some aspects of it, you know, any little tip you get might improve your rating. You might go from a B to an A to an A+, you might suddenly get in a top 24 race because you've just understood something that you may not have understood before. Honestly, anybody can learn anything from the GT Sport Driving School, so just watch it, enjoy it, hopefully learn something. Anyway, back to this race now, because it's getting interesting. As you can see there, Calster really struggling with his tyres now, holding up Key, holding up Mac. You can see everybody is fighting like a maniac here as we are going towards the end of this first stint. So obviously tyres becoming critical. See Key on the outside trying to get the advantage over Calster, but Calster can just put his foot down out of corners sometimes here, and he just fires it further ahead. So Key still behind Calster at this point, Mac there. It's nice to see 5 different manufacturers here fighting for a victory. It is good to see. It does show that the Group 3 category with this race setup at the moment is fairly balanced. Now obviously there's always going to be some issues somewhere. There's always going to be somebody complaining about something, different driving styles and stuff like that. But it's nice to see this kind of race where manufacturers are there. And we've even got another manufacturer behind, Aston Martin, in the fight as well. We head down towards the sharp left-hand corner. Belling tries to go to remove a little bit of contact with Mac here, so I'm going to go around to the outside now, try and follow Mac through this corner. And coming up to here, I just make a slight mistake here in that I should have kept my nose in more, but I bailed out of it. That's a really sort of, don't really do that. Make sure you are confident with your decision. I wasn't there. I even said that on the live stream. Again, you can watch that if you want to go to the description box below. The link is there to the live stream video on demand. It's also got the Formula 1 race that happened earlier on as well. But as you see, we're all going to come in here. Belling just makes the late call here. And as we come into the pits, we are waiting for the car to get into the pit box. Now, you may notice that Belling was in before me. Mac was in before me. You know, I come in there in 5th position. Started in 6th, into 5th position. So I'm quite happy at this point. However, as we go to leave the pits, we're right behind Key, and if you look in the top right hand corner, we're inside Mac and we're ahead of Belling. So I have no idea what happened in the pits. Now, a lot of people had different ideas about what happened during the pit stops, why I came out where I did. One theory is that I went into the pit lane faster than everybody else. So this is M. Thomas's theory, in the fact that if you go in quicker, it's because you're not trying to abuse the system, knock off a penalty really quickly, so they give you a little bit extra time. Another theory was obviously perhaps it was the random pit stop time that we looked at in the Austria World Tour event, where it affected us, where the Mercedes gained 2 seconds in there. I don't think we gained 2 seconds here. I think it was close. I think it's more like 1 second, 1.2 or something like that. But even so, is it that? Another person suggested, what was it off the top of my head? No, I can't remember what they said. My mind's gone blank. I'll come back to it. But there were several reasons for it, basically, of why it could have been that. Oh, that was it. So the other reason was potentially because the Audi's R8 is very quick, 0 to 60, or 0 to 80, or however you want to say it. Literally, it's 0 to 60 or 0 to 100 kilometers now, isn't it? Sorry, apologies. That's the reason I gained an advantage. Now, we've seen something similar at Interlagos, except I was in the Peugeot RCZ, and the BMW M6 just went straight through me, straight through quite a few people, actually, out on the pit exit. So I'm not sure what the cause of that is, but even so, we gained a little bit of time there. We just got lucky, I guess. I'll take a bit of luck. You know, sometimes you need a bit of luck in these races. We haven't had the best luck in some races recently. So we did gain 2 positions. Unfortunately for Mac, he lost out. And so did Bellin as well. Mac more so because he didn't even realise he was inside me until he went left. So I was there. I was then on the inside for the corner, and I gained the advantage. As you can see now, though, we're on lap number 7. We've got Key and Kelsa still battling up ahead. We've got Mac just behind us and Bellin as well. Now, at this point in the race, I'm now thinking about tyres. Remember, I've got to go 1 lap extra on these tyres in order to survive this stint with a one-stop strategy. But that also means the car's going to get very risky on the last lap. The last lap that you guys missed. But even so, you can see I'm up on the fastest lap there at the moment. So I'm obviously putting in some serious speed. Key's obviously battling Kelster, so it's an advantage to me. And I know Kelster's tyres are going to go off at some point during this race, like before mine do, so I know I can gain some advantage there. But again, Mac and Bellin, they're in front engine rear wheel drive cars. They're going to catch up towards the end of this stint. I got to keep that in mind. So I can't remember exactly what point, but I changed my brake balance from -3 to -4 or 5. I think I put it to -5. And what that does, because it's the left rear tyre that is getting all the wear. If you put your brake balance more to the front tyres have to do more work, rear tyres have to do less work. At that point, you save a little bit of tyre wear, which is obviously, as I said, in my mind, I'm trying to protect my tyres so that I can make it to the end of the race and be in with a shot of getting a podium, potentially second or potentially first, depending on what happens up ahead. And as you can see, Key is pushing hard to try and overtake Kelster here, really, really hard. Now, obviously, Kelster on the straights is just going to fire ahead, so he gets really close here, does Key. But again, he can't touch Kelster here, and that's because the Lamborghini needs the straight line speed because of the tyre wear. And the Audi R8 does catch up to the Lamborghini a little bit in slipstream, but, you know, like for like, the Lamborghini is much faster. As you can see, Key is not gaining. The Lamborghini is going further ahead than this Porsche. So at this point I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. You keep battling, I can catch up. As you see, the gap is coming down. Me to Key is lowering all the time. This is exactly what we want. Through the right-hander. Again, we're trying to protect our tyres here, so balancing the throttle really nice on this right-hander. Accelerate out as we head towards the end of Sector 1. As you see, I look behind. See that Bellin and Mac are fighting still, so again, that's good for me. I see this on stream as well. As long as they battle, I can then stay in this fight. They waste time with each other. And we're in with a chance of a good podium finish here. Now, the points in this lobby was 2,700 points, which is what we needed because we've not had the best look so far in manufacturers with the Audi R8. So if we could get that victory, that is what we wanted. Coming into here, though, Key just clips the right-hand side with his rear tyre. A lot of tyre wear there used with that slide. Remember, high tyre multipliers wear rate. Any slide will be a significant disadvantage to you. You use a lot more of your tyres. So I'm going to just do a fake move here. I brake. I thought I broke late there and wondered what Key was doing, then realised Key had outbroke himself. So unfortunately there, Key, as we like to say with Super GT, bottled it. So unfortunately for Key, he's now going to drop some positions, but he does manage to stay in the 5th, 6th position sort of area. Obviously coming back on and off dirty tyres, which is, I guess, is why he lost the position to Mac. But we're in 2nd place. So we've only got Calster in front of us now. So I'm actually thinking at this point, okay, so Calster's in front of us here. We've still got the second gap to Belling, which is exactly what we want. We're just out of the slipstream of Belling as well, so Belling can't really use it. But we can use Calster's slipstream. So if you have a look now, we are actually slowly gaining on Calster. Slowly but surely in this slipstream. There we go. So we gain about a tenth with the slipstream, but it shows you how fast that Lamborghini actually is. Remember, we've got the same engine. You know, Lamborghinis use the Audi engine, the Audi V10 engine. So through here we go, bouncing the throttle again. You can see that. I'm trying to make sure the car doesn't slide. I don't want it to slide. Sliding causes significant wear with this multiplier as we then come into the braking zone. Look how close we're getting now. So I know at this point Calster is struggling with his tyres. So I'm thinking, okay, here we go. I just need to pick out a place to overtake. Calster is slowing me up a little bit here, and I said that on the stream. Come on, Calster, get a move on, because I don't want to get into the claws of Belling and Roswell and Mack. I don't want to be involved in that. I want to just stay, you know, a second ahead and make sure we get some decent points here. Second place, 2,500 points. But I would go for the victory here if I had the opportunity. Remember, I've got to think about the Lamborghini's strength here, which is its straight line speed. So I have to do it in a corner, which again is not the best thing now for these MR cars. But as you see, I do that lovely. Calster just gets a bit of oversteer there. So he's going to go defensive, which is in his right. Again, we're coming to the braking zone, and Calster does the exact same as Key here. Just outbrakes himself there. The brake marker is difficult. I've got the cones on, which is helpful for me at least, because I know exactly where it is. So I gain the first position. So I'm thinking, yes, I've done it, right? So I'm going to look at the distance there. You just see the flick of the eyes there. That's literally to have a look what the distance is to Roswell at this point, because I did run a little bit wide myself. 1 second. Perfect. Here we go. All we have to do now is survive 2 laps. 2 laps of survival, and we get the victory. And now I know Roswell, Belling, they're going to be close to me on this last lap. I know that for sure. So we go down the start finish straight. Start lap number 10 now of this race. As you can see, I'm smiling. I'm talking to the stream. As I say, I talk to the stream while I race. Some guys ask how the hell I do that, but I just try and pick my moments where I can. Continue races will say, believe it or not, streaming actually helps for live events, because my focus at live events is more on the racing than it is in the FIA races, because I'm streaming a little bit. So, you know, it's there. Oh, you see the car get a little bit twitchy there. That's the problem with this car now at this point in time. We're on a very iffy part of the race now, where the car wants to oversteer all the time. There we go again. Look at it, trying to basically kill me as I continue out of there and then brake for this left-hander. I love this left-hander in this car. It's really nice feeling. Just accelerate out very nicely. Just be careful of any oversteer again. That gap staying around 8 tenths, 9 tenths. I need it to be 9 tenths plus to avoid slipstream. That's my main goal here as we come through here. I keep it in third in this corner, and I did it throughout the race really. It's to protect the tyres. Second, slightly quicker, but you will ruin your tyres so much more. So that's a tip to take if you want to protect your tyres. Try just a gear higher. Yes, you lose a little bit of time, but you gain time overall because your tyres will be better later on in the race, and you're not slipping and sliding all over the place. Going into here now, we're 1.2 seconds ahead. Well, we were 1.2 seconds ahead. There we go, back up to 1.2 as we then come into this right-hander. So again, we've got 1 lap. The stream is where it died around this point now. So this is what you haven't seen. The stream has died at this point. So I'm actually saying to myself at this point, GG stream's dead. You'll see me actually look behind to try and have a look what the problem is with the stream. I do this while racing, believe it or not, which is insane. So I've got 1 lap to survive here, and it is very off-putting that the stream died, because I can see the stream. Look, there we go, I'm having a look, and then I'll have another look again. Yeah, and then at that point I think, okay, it's dead. So I'm going to have to just race it. Very hard to concentrate at that point, because you lose your focus a little bit, because obviously I'm streaming to you guys, and suddenly the stream's died. But even so, into this last corner, you're going to watch a lap of survival now. Can we survive Roswell in that Aston Martin? Can we do it? So through here we go. Look at the balance. Look how much we're running wide. Look, the car's getting very twitchy. I'm looking at the distance to Roswell. We've lost a few temps there in that corner into this right-hander. And you can see we're staying in third now. We're doing this corner in second quite a lot. But the third gear is to try and make sure we don't use those tyres. As I said before, it's a good tip to use. And we've gained a little bit there to Roswell. So into this left-hander, we're going to try and accelerate out as fast as we can. And Roswell has made a mistake there. You just see the really Aston Martin twitching a little bit there. So that's good for us into this left-hander. You can just see us. We're just trying to brake in a straight line, avoid any weight transfers as best as possible as we accelerate up the hill now. Third gear, we really want to just bounce the throttle here. Make sure we don't get any oversteer. very nice and easy there. We didn't want to push it at all, and we've still got a 1.1 second gap to head towards this left-hander. Into the braking zone we go, down to first gear. And we're just going to be careful, really slowly accelerate out of there. Second gear, here we go. So we've made that a little bit work. Now 1.2 seconds. At this point we are feeling confident that we've got this. Fortunately, 1.3. Happy days. So guys, we do win this race. Obviously the stream's going to end abruptly because I then start trying to fix it and stuff. So I hope you enjoyed this video and this last lap. Thanks very much for watching. Sorry about the stream dying, and thanks very much for the support and 5,000 subscribers. You'll have another video before the World Finals, but I'll see you in my next live stream at least, a week on Wednesday. But thanks very much for watching. I'll see you next time.